Hey everyone, it's your girl May Styles, and I'm going to take you guys through the entire process of how I get these beautiful Senegalese boho twist with the curls on the ends, taking you guys through all the steps and processes so you guys can achieve this beautiful flowing look, okay? So just stay tuned for the entire video because I'm going to show you guys all the tips, tricks, and techniques to making your client feel that beautiful, okay? So you guys are going to start with blow-dried hair, and we're going to enter into the pre-parting process. So you're going to start by the ear, the top of the ear, and you're going to part off a straight line. The first thing you do want to do is make sure that you split the head down the middle. We always start our styles, braid styles, with a middle part down the middle so that you can get both sides identical, because it's a lot harder to work with a full head versus a half and putting them together. Once you are ready to part where the edges are, you want to make sure that you kind of brush the edges out a little bit. If your clients want her edges out, then that's cool, but also you want to make sure that you're not braiding up the entire scalp and edges, because that's how your client's hair breaks off. So just make sure that you are at least parting off a little bit so that you can see what your client's edges will look like. As you can see in this process right here, I parted the other section up vertically, and this is to ensure that there is a curve, because when it comes to parting these rows, you have to match the rows to the client's head. And all of our heads are circular, you guys, so you just want to make sure that you have a slight curve, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean in a minute. And this is why I tell you guys to start with a middle part, because it's easier to match one side to the other versus parting a whole row across. So as you can see, the rows are curved. So what you're gonna do is just do the same thing on the other side. And like I said, you guys, this is what makes this process so easy, because this is really a blueprint for how your client's head is gonna look, how the rows are gonna look. So just make sure that you are doing the exact same thing on the other side. Once you guys are completely finished, this is what your client's head should look like. They should all have that curve at the top and all the way moving down into that top of the ear. Now that you are completely done with that process, it is time to start braiding. You are going to start by taking out the row that you are about to start braiding, which is your first row, and the row above it. And you're going to do that the entire way throughout the head, because this ensures that you are not pulling on any hairs from the row above it to be able to easily part without breaking any of the hairs off. To get clean and crispy parts, you are going to start with an original part, and then you're going to apply some braiding gel and slide it across your client's head so that you can ensure that that part is clean and crispy. Because my client's hair is fine, I'm going to do 3 braids in the back instead of 4, because that way the twist won't be too heavy and pull her hair out. So I'm just going to apply a little product between those parts, part them off, and comb them towards the direction that they're supposed to go in. And like I said, you guys, we are protecting those edges, those perimeter, back hairs, all of that, okay? So make sure you guys are combing those out the way so that you do not braid those up and cause breakage and bumps in the back of your client's head. Once you have applied gel to all 4 sides of the section, you're going to split your section into 3 to make sure that the braid sits directly in the middle and evenly distributes the weight throughout the braid. To ensure a twist that is healthy for your client's hair, you are going to start adding in strands of hair that are exactly the same size or a little bit smaller than your client's strands that are in your hand, and gradually build them up, because this helps you make sure that the braid is not too chunky or too heavy for your client's hair. Braid down at least 3 or 4 loops of the braiding pattern, and then you're going to get a clip to clip the root out the way to ensure that it doesn't irritate your client's scalp or break off your client's hair while twisting. For all my braid girlies that have subscribed to my channel, y'all know I always talk about braiders' intuition. So make sure that you are feeling how big these twists are for your client's hair and gradually adding in pieces throughout the twist like I showed you guys a couple seconds ago. Once you get to your client's desired length, you are going to split the end section into 3 sections, and you're going to begin braiding. This is going to help you secure the ends and prepare you to secure your boho curls on the ends as well. You want to make sure that the curl piece that you add in is about the same size as your curls so that you maintain the uniformity, and then you're going to start tying your knot. Now this process is a little hard to explain, but you're going to take a small strand of your human hair, put it in your thumb and index finger, use your index finger on your other hand to make a loop, and then pull that string through, and then you're going to split that strand in half and do the same thing. And that is going to ensure that you have secured those curls on the ends, and this is what your twist should look like. Very, very uniformed and secured. Now once you guys are done parting off that second row, you're going to start a process called brick layering. And the reason why this is called brick layering is because it resembles a brick layering pattern because they're staggered and no bricks are always stacked on top of each other. They're stacked in between one another. So as you can see, I have 3 braids at the bottom, but there's 5 at the top because they're sitting in between each braid. Now I'm just going to repeat this process of twisting them, and the purpose of not adding curls in the back is because honestly you don't see them anyways, and because they're at the nape of the neck, they get tangled up a lot easier. So I don't add curls in the back unless a client requests all curls and no braids showing. I know you guys seen like the super full goddess boho where the braids essentially look like a weave. So I only add curls in the back for that purpose. If not, I don't put curls in the back. Now this third row is where we're about to start adding some curls in. Again, I'm going to show you guys what this brick layering process looks like. You want to make sure each box is staggered over one another. There should be no box sitting directly on top of another box, only in between. And again, this is what this should look like. One braid in between one another. Now I'm going to begin braiding this first braid in this third row. And then this is when I'm going to start adding my curls as well. So just stay tuned for this process. Braid down about at least 4 or 5 inches worth of twist. And now you're going to feed in your curl piece like you regularly feed in your braiding hair, and then you're going to loop down a few times and then pull your curl out the way. The reason why you want to loop down a little bit is so you can secure the curl in, because it's not the same as braids. Braids are a lot more secure than twists are, so you want to make sure you twist down a few times and pull that curl out the way. And I'm just going to show you guys this process again and what this looks like. It's important to note that when you are placing these curls, you want to make sure that these curls are also placed a little staggered as well. You don't want curls too bunched up in one area, so you want to map out and just pay attention to where these curls will sit at. So as you can see, I'm kind of like, okay, well this curl's right here. Now I'm going to braid down a little bit further so that another curl sits under it, and vice versa, sits over it, sits more on this side, vice versa. All the things you want to make sure that your curls are not directly next to each other. So as you can see right here, I have some curls placed in different places, and this helps to ensure that there is fullness. So I have some all the way at the bottom of the twist. I have some all the way at the top. I have some in between the middle. You want to make sure that you are paying attention for the perfect curl placement and fullness. And you want to make sure that you are doing this throughout the entire process, because in that last clip, I only did a couple of braids in a row, and now you can see that the full row is done, that there are placement of curls in many different areas to ensure that there is fullness. And again, I'm just showing you guys this brick layering process. I know I showed the chart earlier, but you can see that these boxes are not sitting directly on top of each other. And so what I like to do with the last 2 rows is just part everything off. This ensures that I can see everything, and then also it's just a lot quicker when I do it like that. Again, I'm just checking my curl placement just to see. You want to make sure that you are checking your curl placement after you finish every single braid and every single row. Always check, because you can see that there's some areas that need more curls than other. So I'm about to start braiding, and as you can see, about to clip it off. and I'm just adding this curl in this place, in this area, because it was lacking some curls. So I had to add a curl there. You can also add multiple curls to one braid if need be, because this also helps with fullness, but my client didn't want fullness this time. She just wanted a few curls placed throughout, so that's how we did it. Sometimes I place the curls at the very tip of the braid, sometimes I place it at the very bottom. You just want to make sure that the curls are proportionate. There's no right or wrong to where you place the curls, but you want to make sure that you are placing them so that it ensures the fullness. Sometimes I untwist it so that I can see how it would actually be placed, and now this is her acting crazy. So yeah. Now, regardless of where all of these curls sit, I always put curls at the very beginning on the edges of my client's hair, because it just makes the style look a lot more girly, and then when she wants to do her style, she can leave her curls out in a messy bun and all of those things. So I just like to make sure that I put curls on her edges of her braid, no matter where the other curls are sitting. Now, we ended up getting some food because, y'all, we was hungry, okay? And this is a 5-6 hour service, so we got some food together, some mint lemonade from this Mediterranean restaurant, and a few other things from this Chinese restaurant. But yeah, again, just checking the curl placement before I finish off everything. And as you can see, these curls are proportionate. There's no spacing between these curls. And yeah, you guys, and at the top of the braid, I also like to put curls here as well, because this helps with the fullness too. So just gonna finish off her head, and you guys can see the full curl placement. Okay, y'all, I know y'all don't see no clip on that braid, but I just want to tell y'all that the middle of the head is a little bit stronger. So sometimes when you forget, but always remember to put it on the perimeter, the back, the edges, because you can definitely rip out her hair then. But like I said, the middle of her hair is a lot stronger, so as you can see, it's not twisting as much as it would on thinner areas like the edges or the nape of the neck. And as you can see here, we have little stragglies sticking out from the human hair. So what you want to do is just clip those off and out the way, and go throughout the entire head and see. Usually I'll tell you guys to go throughout this process as you are adding in your curls, but most of the time they should be tucked under the braiding hair anyways. So just make sure you go in and you see any stragglers and cut them off. And then what I'm doing right here is just pulling the curls out the way so that I can dip her hair. And the way that I dip hair for boho braids is I sit them in a shampoo bowl. Sometimes people have them over a bucket if they're in a chair and don't have a shampoo bowl, but this just helps with making sure that you are not damaging the curls, even though they are human, because they can still slip out and all things like that. So just making sure that I'm pouring the hot water over her braids and being careful with this hot water, y'all, because this can be a lawsuit. So yeah, just make sure you are doing that. If you are at home, do it over a bucket and pour it over a bucket. And then once you are all done, you want to apply your mousse, detangle your curls. And this is another reason why I don't dip human hair into hot water or water in general, because it can tangle up and you'll have to, comb it out and just make sure the curl is all, smoothing out. So yeah, just go in with your mousse. I like to go in with a holding spray to ensure that it holds a little bit longer. And then I go in with my blow dryer to blow dry and set that product in. You can also blow dry the client's braids, because sometimes they'll leave with their shirts and butts being wet. But yeah, you guys, this is the full tutorial. Your braids should be flowing and sleek. And yeah, let me know if I missed anything. If you guys want me to go into detail about anything, let me know in the comment section below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, because I want to provide you guys with the perfect content to help you guys slay your clients and yourself. Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.